I mean, I don't think you have to black it out. You should show it to people. She called me Don, sea sucker lemon is disgusting. Look, this is what I'll say to Nicki Minaj. I normally don't respond to things like this, but F it. I'm going to do it this time. I think Nicki Minaj has made it very clear how she feels about African Americans in this country. For I don't think she's one of them, obviously, and she should, under Trump's rules, she should be deported because I don't think, reportedly, that she is a legal citizen here. She is undocumented.
In today's media landscape, moments of cultural tension rarely stay quiet for long. When influential voices speak, reactions are immediate, emotional, and often polarizing. That dynamic came into sharp focus when veteran journalist Don Lemon publicly addressed Nicki Minaj, one of the most powerful and controversial figures in modern music. What began as commentary quickly evolved into a broader debate about celebrity responsibility, public accountability, free speech, and the role media figures play when criticizing cultural icons. Supporters on both sides rushed to defend their positions, while critics questioned motivations, tone, and intent. Today's video breaks down what Don Lemon said, why Nicki Minaj became the focal point, how fans and critics reacted, and what this moment reveals about power, influence, and accountability in today's celebrity-driven culture. This story isn't just about two famous names. It's about the tension between media scrutiny and cultural loyalty. Who are Don Lemon and Nicki Minaj? To understand why this exchange resonated so strongly, it's important to understand the weight both figures carry. Don Lemon built his career as a respected journalist and television anchor, known for blending traditional reporting with opinion-driven commentary. Over the years, he became a prominent voice on social issues, race, politics, and media accountability. Whether praised or criticized, Lemon has never been afraid to speak directly, and that approach has consistently kept him in the public eye. Nicki Minaj, on the other hand, is a cultural force. A trailblazer in hip-hop, she reshaped the role of women in rap, built a fiercely loyal fan base, and maintained relevance across more than a decade of chart-topping success. Her influence extends far beyond music, touching fashion, internet culture, and identity politics. When someone like Don Lemon speaks about someone like Nicki Minaj, it's never just commentary, it's a collision of platforms. What sparked Don Lemon's comments? Don Lemon's remarks came amid ongoing public discussions surrounding Nicki Minaj's recent controversies, online behavior, and the way she engages critics and media figures. While Lemon did not attack her music or legacy directly, he questioned how she uses her influence and how public figures should respond to criticism. Lemon emphasized that with massive platforms comes responsibility. He argued that celebrities, especially those with loyal fan bases, must understand the real-world consequences of their words, including how online callouts can lead to harassment, misinformation, or intimidation. His comments were framed not as a personal attack, but as a critique of behavior. Still, mentioning Nicki Minaj by name instantly escalated the situation, drawing intense attention from fans and commentators alike. The substance of Lemon's argument. At the core of Don Lemon's message was accountability. He suggested that celebrities should not weaponize their influence against journalists, critics, or individuals who question them. Lemon highlighted the imbalance of power that exists when a global superstar calls out someone publicly, knowing millions will respond. He also pointed to a broader pattern in modern culture, where criticism is often met with outrage rather than reflection. In Lemon's view, disagreement should not automatically become a personal war, especially when one side holds overwhelming influence. Importantly, Lemon framed his comments as part of a wider conversation, not a singular feud. He positioned Nicki Minaj as an example within a larger cultural trend, rather than the sole focus of his critique. Nicki Minaj's response and fan reaction. Nicki Minaj did not remain silent. Through social media, she responded in her signature style, direct, unapologetic, and emotionally charged. While she rejected Lemon's framing, she also questioned the motivations behind his commentary, suggesting bias and selective criticism. Her fan base, known as the Barbs, mobilized quickly. Social media platforms flooded with defenses of Nicki, critiques of Don Lemon, and debates about fairness in media coverage. Many fans argued that Nicki is unfairly scrutinized in ways her peers are not, especially as a woman in hip-hop. Others, however, saw Lemon's comments as valid and overdue, viewing them as a necessary challenge to unchecked celebrity power. Media, power, and public perception. This moment highlights a growing tension between celebrities and media figures. In the past, journalists held clear authority in shaping narratives. Today, celebrities often bypass traditional media entirely, speaking directly to audiences and controlling their own messaging. Don Lemon represents an older media model adapting to a new digital environment, while Nicki Minaj thrives in direct-to-fan communication. Their clash symbolizes a shift in who controls narratives and who gets questioned when influence becomes overwhelming. Public perception now forms faster than facts can be clarified, and emotional loyalty often outweighs objective analysis. The gender and cultural layer. Any conversation involving Nicki Minaj also intersects with gender, race, and cultural politics. Many supporters argue that outspoken women, especially black women, are policed more harshly for behavior that is tolerated in others. Don Lemon acknowledged this history but maintained that accountability should not disappear because of cultural context. Critics, however, felt that his commentary lacked sensitivity to how often black female artists are targeted. This layer complicated the discussion, turning it from a single critique into a broader debate about fairness, representation, and power dynamics in media. Why this moment matters. This exchange matters because it reflects where modern culture stands. Celebrity influence is enormous. Media authority is contested. Audiences are emotionally invested, and accountability is often interpreted as attack. The Don Lemon-Nicki Minaj moment forces an uncomfortable question. How do we balance critique with respect, influence with responsibility, and loyalty with honesty? It also shows how quickly dialogue turns into division when nuance is lost. What happens next? Neither Don Lemon nor Nicki Minaj appears interested in backing down, and that reality speaks to something larger than a single disagreement. While the immediate headlines may eventually fade and social media moves on to the next trending topic, the underlying issues raised by this moment are unlikely to disappear. Questions about accountability, influence, and who gets to shape public narratives remain unresolved, and they will continue to resurface as long as celebrity culture and media commentary collide. Future moments like this are inevitable in a landscape where voices are louder than ever. Platforms reach millions in seconds, and attention itself has become a form of power. Every statement, reaction, and response is amplified, dissected, and emotionally charged. In that environment, disagreement rarely stays measured. It escalates quickly into division. How these moments are handled by media figures, celebrities, and audiences alike will determine whether public discourse evolves or continues to fracture. Will conversations allow room for nuance, context, and accountability without turning into personal warfare? Or will loyalty and outrage dominate every exchange? This moment serves as a reminder that the way we engage with conflict matters just as much as the conflict itself, shaping the tone of cultural dialogue long after the headlines disappear. So what can we take away from this moment? Don Lemon speaking out on Nicki Minaj wasn't just about criticism. It was about accountability, power, and the evolving relationship between media and celebrity. Whether you agree with Lemon or stand firmly with Nicki, one thing is clear: influence carries weight and how it's used matters. This wasn't simply a clash of personalities. It was a mirror reflecting our culture's struggles with criticism, loyalty, and responsibility. Now we want to hear from you. Was Don Lemon right to speak out? Or was Nicki Minaj unfairly targeted? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth stories shaping culture today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.